be able to survive a Carrington event? Now, I cannot guarantee you how long I'll be on here. I really can't with what's going around. Some may think, well, I wonder if I'm going to survive. I'm trying to survive just any day right now. I'm just trying to survive in the world. Why are you talking about a Carrington event, Gina? I ain't even made it through the holidays yet. Yeah. So would you be able to survive a Carrington event? Now, there's a lot of things that would put a person to the test. There really is, concerning Carrington events. Because they truly would fry. Gina, what would they do? Well, a Carrington-like event would fry your electronics like that. Totally fry them. And so you wouldn't be able to rely on electronics. Looks kind of corroded and stuff like that. It really does. Real corroded. Let's come over here and hello. Gonna come over here and look at this. Are you ready for the next big solar storm? Because this solar storm could be a major Achilles heel. You can see it right here during the next solar storm. Look at this. And the sun is going to go into that solar cycle by 2025. It'll probably come a lot sooner. It might. It probably will come a lot sooner, you all. Super life cycles. Look at this. Solar storms are a natural part of the sun's life cycle, and our planet has some natural defenses against the worst of such events. Our technology, however, is not so well protected. And I don't know where that leaves the internet or anything like that. If you think about it, where does that leave the internet? And welcome. Oh, yes, because our sun heats us, sustains us, and it will ultimately destroy our little blue dot, some say. You could destroy it. You could fry the earth. It could throw us back into the dark ages. It really could. Yeah, let's look at this. So we got this space weather right here. We do. It looks nice and pretty like that. Now, some says, oh, Gina, that's just, it's not going to happen. Okay, it's not going to happen. You are. We're going to see how it can happen. We can. It can have a constant stream of particles. I've got some of this pulled up right here. I do. Some of these look like UFOs over here on NASA's product. They look like massive, perfect circular like discs coming out of the sun. And you have to ask yourself, why does it look kind of like discs? How can it be such a perfect circle? There is a lot of activity right now. Let me just do this. I'm going to push this back to me. I'm going to push that button. Jeannie, you going to push the button? Yes, I'm going to push the button. What I did notice with the sun is the docking station switched its place in around August the 11th of 2023. It went over to the other side of the sun is what happened. I'm trying to get over here to this. Okay, y'all, let's look at this right here. So you can see all this activity. I'm kind of torn as to whether or not that this sun, if that's just normal solar flares, or if there really is a battle taking place up there. And that sun is something different. Something different other than like a Stargate or something like that, you all. Just look how massive it is. If you're just tuning in, hello. It's taken me a while to get over here. I'm trying to get up a motivation to get on here and do a video. That's how tired I am. But that's okay. Hello, Applebrooks, honey. Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming in. Could we survive a Carrington-like event? It would be hard. It really would. We're not young anymore. A lot of people would be more prepared than others. They would. But some, you could never be prepared enough. You may think, oh, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it, I'm going to survive it, and then kind of find out, well, it's not that easy. It's not. I'm trying to get this thing from doing whatever it's doing, you all. See, this will not quit blinking for some strange reason. You can see all types of UFOs. Well, probably around 2 or 3 different types of UFOs that are coming across the sun right here. Let's look at that. Let me drag it a little bit. I'm going to bring it down a tad bit is what I want to do. And we're getting ready to enter that 11-year cycle. Look at this. I know that's not a comet. You can see it down here. It's right here. It's this thing right here. It's going straight toward the sun. It does. I can't help to think whenever these things go straight toward the sun, they're not a comet. I think there's some kind of a missile that or something gets fired into the sun because there's something behind that sun. And could be something in that sun that they want to, whoever they are, want to fire at. Maybe they want to, something wants to destabilize the sun to make it explode or something, because it works pretty good. Look at that. Look at all of these. These look like plasma ships across here. They're massive. Massive plasma ships going back and forth, and those don't originate from the sun, so they must originate somewhere up there in space is where they must originate. Otherwise, they would not be going that way at all. I sure hope that there aren't space wars going up there, but that would be another word for space wars. Look at that. It's like it's a lot of destabilization going on. A ton of it. Massive amount of it happening. Could we survive a Carrington event? I'm going to grid down. Are we prepared? Perhaps. Look at that. See how massive. Could you imagine the sun? All it's going to take is massive ones. Several of these, or maybe one great big gigantic one, and then that's all she wrote. It's going to cause some problems to occur. Look at that. It really does look like a UFO. Some big round sphere coming out of that sun. It's too perfect. It's way too perfect. Let me come on over here. It's like that right there. This one looks like it's like our electric universe too. I'm sitting there trying to study that. I think, does that look like a plane? I thought, are these great big wings? One here and one here coming out of that sun, but then there's something else right there. Yeah, you just tuning in. Will we be able to survive a Carrington event, an apocalyptic event, like a plasma-like apocalypse? There's so many movies on it, so many videos, so many theories. Look at that. They look like a plasma monster. It's always been here. Something, I don't know what that was, the ethereal thing. You just tuning in. How would we survive a Carrington-like event? Let me see who we got going on. You all, are we over here, Gina? Yes, we're over here. We're trying to think. What's up? Are you ready? Could you survive a Carrington-like event? Could you? Because chances are, if one occurred, like in let me see when the last one was. Let's see if I can get it. The last Carrington-like event. I had it pulled up. We did. We can look at this. The last, what was it? Let's look at this. Come on over here. What was the Carrington event? And why does it matter? You see October the 22nd. It's a solar filament coming from the sun. We got it going on. We do. Gina, are you sure you got it going on? Well, I'm trying to get it going on. I really am. Trying to get myself motivated. Trying to get myself motivated. It's really hard. It's you got to push through it, you all. So let's look at this. August the 31st of 2012. Accompanying coronal mass ejection, 900 miles per second, rippling out of into the solar system. That is massive. That is super, super massive, you all. It's like coming like that. A much larger CME in the year 1859 caused the Carrington Event, which manifested as perplexing disruptions in our technologies then in use, such as the telegraph. Well, what happened then after that, you all? Because did we quit using the telegraph after that? Don't know. Our blazing sun has a metaphorical dark side. It does, just like the dark side of the moon. It has the potential to cause our modern technological civilization to falter. September the 2nd of 1859. On that day, around the world, the compasses at sea failed to work, causing some ships to become lost. Telegraph networks experienced disruption. Some lines caught fire. We are very dependent on it. Telling people as far as the Caribbean and Mexico, they saw auras. We're starting to see some auras too on here, because the auras are like northern lights or something. Is that what they're speaking about? Something like that. It's hitting today and it's reaching us yesterday. Amy Gill. Yeah, so this is scientists now believe that what happened on that day 164 years ago was an extreme geomagnetic storm, and since then the 1859 storm has been known as the Carrington Event. Look at that. The first day of September, where they were noticing it. Let's see. Solar cycle. When the sun is near its peak of its 11-year solar cycle, CMEs are common. Okay, Carrington Event. 35 zeros. Wow. Wrapping the Earth in seething, writhing mass of high-energy particles, the blast of the solar particles buffeted, squeezed, and distorted Earth's magnetic sphere, releasing an estimate of a 10 megaton nuclear bomb. A 10 megaton nuclear bomb. It's also equal to the amount of energy the sun releases in about 10 seconds. That would fry some satellites up there. It really would. Let's see this right here. We're not going to look at that, but look at this. Look like a particle event. The effects of it. People saw auras. Okay, Caribbean, widespread stories. People receiving shocks from their doorknobs and other metal objects, thanks to the induction of electrical currents around the world. The compasses. Okay, we already read that. The apocryphal tells of a telegraph operator who received a shock from his machine, knocking him unconscious and awaking later to find his arm was paralyzed. Wow. It subsided. People began working. A bit of background. Let's see, 1843. Schwab's. Can I like that guy with the W-E-S, Schwab's? It's just a different spelling of his name. The sun's magnetic field in the 11-year cycle. We can see it. Let's see this. I'm trying to see it. That's what it would look like. The sun's activity traveling across space to interact with Earth's magnetic field. And it would just go straight through there, you all. Wonder if it would travel over the wireless. What if it would travel in ground? What if it would travel through the fiber optic? You think it could? Underground? Yeah. I mean, it could. A faint light appeared in the north. Display of the aurora borealis has been witnessed for many years. The aurora assumed a variety of forms and the sky was constantly changing. Oh, wow, that would really look kind of wild. If you saw the sky changing colors constantly, At times when the whole heavens were illuminated with a brilliant light and the stars were entirely obscured, the aurora continued for several hours and disappeared about midnight. Wow. Yesterday there was a great magnetic storm and all the telegraph lines in the country, they were interrupted for several hours. You also look at that. So it can affect a lot of stuff. But look at all these reports like this. Let's see this. The first undersea transatlantic telegraph cable came up just a year before the Carrington event. I wonder what would happen. That's really interesting. So they've got buried undersea cables. Once the telegraph lines sang their messages across the flat Midwestern plains of the United States. Now it's the internet that connects us and everything we do. The first undersea transatlantic telegraph cable came just a year before the Carrington event in 58. Yeah, it connected North America with Europe for the first time, allowing news to propagate around the world faster than ever before. And today, most of the world's internet traffic flows through undersea cables of vast capacity. Existing cables flow with ever-multiplying streams of ones and zeros. Isn't that interesting? Ones and zeros. The telegraph songs of the digital age. Computers manage our society. They affect every single aspect of our lives, from traffic control to power grids, to banking, healthcare, entertainment. The birth of the integrated circuit gave us the modern world, modern devices, toasters, television, cell phones, and cars. What might another event do if it were to induce a large electrical current in Earth's magnetic field? What would happen to the power grid? You got 1989 Quebec blackout from a solar storm. Quebec blackout from the solar storm. Let me see this. Okay, well, that ain't got no pictorial, so we're not going to look at it, you all. We're not. Jeannie, you're not going to look at that? No, it ain't got no pictorial. It ain't got no pictures on it. It looks better if it has some pictures on it to look at. We got the satellites now up there. We got space wars going on. In space, the satellites would fail as their electronics got fried. That it really would happen. The electronics would be fried like that. Just fry them out. It'd take them a long time to get them fixed, you all. It really would. The most recent was March. Starlink. 40, let me see that. Do you remember that? 40 SpaceX Starlink satellites failed after a CME. They launched the day before the storm hit, but it wasn't their electronic systems that failed. It was the increased atmospheric drag on the satellites. It pulled the satellites back to Earth, where they burned up into the atmosphere. Did you all know that? The satellites are burned up in the atmosphere. Oh, let's see that. I think I've seen something like that. They're reporting 40 Starlight satellites doomed to re-entry. Do you think they ever got out of it? They look more like a cluster of bright points moving in the same direction, leaving streaks behind them. A pop of light. We had a colder summer. Yeah. They were doomed. They were doomed. By February 3, they're now doomed by a geomagnetic storm. Wow. They got puffed up. They got a drag increased up to 50% higher than that time. Let me go back over here. This one. So we got the satellites right there. You just tuning in. Would we be able to survive a Carrington-like event, really? Because it would be really hard. You wouldn't have no electricity. You probably, if it's in the winter, it's going to be really cold. And if you have no way to stay warm, make a fire, heat up your food. You ain't got no food. Look at this. ATM, credit card transactions, transfers of funds, and banking messages all travel through the satellites. Did you know that? all of that stuff travels through the satellites up in orbit. That's really interesting. Widespread communication loss would be inevitable. There would be utter chaos. Well, isn't that lovely? There would be utter chaos for a while, and recovery might take years. Years for recovery. Wow. I think they said 90% of the population would be dead within a year. Did you read that too? 90% of the population would be dead if there was something like that within 1 year. A Carrington-like event. Let me see, come over to this. If it sounds frightening, ask an important question. Just how likely is another one? It's been 164 years, so do we view it as a blip? Or is it a longer time scale? How much might we get of an extreme Carrington-like event? Yeah, we could get it. CMEs. Preparing for the next one. NASA heliophysics. They'll give you an estimated 30 with this AI thing, you will get 30 minutes, 30-minute warning of an approaching solar storm to prepare. That's not long, but that's all you're going to get is 30 minutes with AI-powered Dagger right there to tell you when that solar flare. You may not get a warning. You may not. I mean, the big corporations might get it, but will other people get it? Can you imagine? You're getting your cell phone. You got 30 minutes. You got that emergency alert, and you decide you're going to turn your phones off, and you don't get the alert, and the next thing you know, everything's out. You got a CME. It's like an EMP, and you're stranded. You're totally stranded. And you wonder what happened. It won't take you long to figure out what happened at all. It will not. I promise you it won't. You got to learn about it, you all. You got to learn all about this. You don't know if there would be a warning. We survived in the past. That's right. We did. Let's hope that we would have the tools to survive, really. We could have the tools to survive. You better have the knowledge to use those tools. You better have some good skills and stuff like that. You would stay put, Butterfly 31. We can stay 35, 41. 90% dead, they told us. Yep, I think that's what I remember. 90% would die within the first year. Let's see if we can type that in. 95. Let me see this. Hold on a second, you all. Let's look at this thing. I think they had some more visuals on here. Let me see if I could do it. Yeah, so there was some visuals right here with the from the sun. This is what would happen with your EMP. There's all these circuits. It's going to get fried. They're going to get fried, you all. Electrons can freely migrate between the source and the power and drain our devices. Once devices like MOSFETs have been compromised, since they can no longer switch or control the current, the process can result in significant buildup and heat up your circuits and burn them up. So burn them up, you all. Hey, just think this. If the earth, if the sky is something like in a big electrical board, and we had a EMP, a Carrington event-like thing from the sun, and it literally fried everything in the sky, just say if it was like an electric board, then the veil would drop. It could be completely drop. It would. Burnouts from heat, soldering. That was with that visual right there. What would it have on modern societies? We're the information age, you all. We got semiconductors. That's right, computers. We've got, I know the military is like EMP battle hardened. That was their main go. EMP battle hardened. Look at all these wires. Let's say you would stay put, is what you all would do. You stay put where you're at. Yeah. Receivers of all kinds susceptible to EMPs, electronic equipment. Radar, warfare, satellite, microwave, UF, VHS, HF, everything. Oh wow, electronic ignition systems, ignition chips. Well, that'll stop global. Uh, that will surely stop economic growth if that would happen, and then you would be, I guess, you'd be stopping global warming. I do, because everything would be brought to a complete halt. Shielding with metal is a first technique, you all. Continuous piece of metal. Hose, listen, any hose in your EMP shield must be smaller than the wavelength of the radiation that is being kept out, or the shield will not create an unbroken conducting surface. So you may try to battle hard. You may try to make a Faraday cage or something like that to protect your stuff. I guess you could put your stuff in a tin can. But who would you talk to? Really think about it. There's no telling. Likelihood of being small hose. A metal cage typically does not entirely shield anything within it. As a result, this kind of shielding frequently includes extra components. You gotta have only a tiny fraction of millimeter thickness of metal is required to provide sufficient protection, and the barrier must be entirely enclosed, the object being toughened. Plastic housing. Battle hardened, you all, really. That'd be the last thing on my mind. Faraday cage, let's see this. Electronic systems. You can maybe accomplish it in your homes. Yeah, you may be able to. We got on there the false sky. This is what would really get us. Look at all that. Ifra, this stuff right here. And it would travel. It would travel all over. Look, 60 minutes on YouTube. How secure is America's grid? I wonder how long is that, you all? That's the guy. Let me see that. How secure is our grid? No, I don't want to look at that, you all. I don't want to do it. You can see it. Can a solar flare destroy the grid? Well, it can. Some states are at more risk. Look at all of the electrical wiring, you all, right here. Look at this. That does not look good at all. You got them in the sky. It's not a hypothetical problem. It's not. Quebec lost their power. Numerous facilities, they lost it for 9 hours with a blackout. They did. So there it is, the Carrington Event. Let's keep them going down here, you all. You may think you can make it. As long as you don't have to depend on electricity, you probably will make it. You just got to be determined to... should we fear it? I mean, I guess you could if you wanted to. I guess you could if you wanted to fear it. You're so very welcome. The Amish would survive since they don't have electricity. I mean, they got a generator. They're allowed to use a generator, but yeah, they would be the ones who survive. It's game over for America. That's right. You will take the likes. You will. The satellites and undersea cables. Yeah. Let me see. Are we still on here? Can you see me right here? I think you can. You should be able to. Cats like lying beside the electric. Dogs kept away from the power boxes at home. I am going to go, you all. I am. I'm going to be hopping off here. This is the last thing on your mind, probably. It's the last thing on my mind right now. It really is. I think we got a lot more troubles in the world. But if you were to add this, that would, can you stop it? No. You can't stop this from coming at all. You can't. If it's going to come, it's going to come. You just got to just make do with it. Do your best to survive it. That's right. You gotta survive it. You can see me. That's great. I'm gonna go, you all. And so, with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello, from my heart to yours. Love you. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon. It's 3:33. Yes, you got to make peace with your maker, and yeah, you better make sure you're in shape too. You want to get yourself in shape so you can. If you had to walk on, you have to go barefoot. Barefoot. If you had to walk, yeah, because you probably won't be using any vehicles. You probably won't. Yeah, you're so very welcome, you all. You are. Yeah. Do I want to see one of these events? No, I don't. Do you? Some people want to. They're ready for the apocalypse. It's like, you give me an apocalyptic event. I like it. I can't wait for the apocalypse. I can't wait till everything goes down. They can't. They can't, because you know what they're going to do. Those who have not prepared, they're going to do raids. They're going to be people who are going to start raiding you all. It's going to get some vigilantes out there, and you're going to have to prepare to protect yourself. That's right. You're going to have to do it. You have become comfortable with being uncomfortable. You can do it. You can do it. That's right. Into the waters earlier this summer is like the Fukushima thing too. Remember how it just keeps circulating? Yeah, it is. I'm going, you all. Did I do that? Hello? Yeah. Is it me you're looking for? It's like, hello, is it me you're looking for? It's that Lionel Richie thing, you all. We can do it. Yeah. I'm going to go. You all have a wonderful rest of your afternoon.